Welcome to my channel Limelight Leaks. Please share and subscribe and hit the bell icon for new updates. Johnny Depp is one of a kind among Hollywood A-listers. He has revolutionized filmmaking for more than 30 years. He has only entertained us. Unlike many others in his field, Johnny Depp didn't play it safe. He avoided the trap of star narcissism and the lure of safe, formulaic parts. Instead, he forgeared his own unique route. Johnny didn't just play the parts. He entirely became each character, from the tragic beauty of Edward Scissorhands to the insanity of the Mad Hatter, Captain, Jack Sparrow to Sweeney Todd and everyone in between. His canon is a treasure trove of mystical outcasts, wounded souls, and ill-respected individuals who he brought to life through his unique talent. The weight of his emotions, the subtle melancholy in his eyes, and the depth he brought to even the most fantastical parts were more important than the clothes or accents. Those who were invisible and who never felt heard had a voice because to him, by doing so, he transcended the status of a mere movie star and became a symbol for the marginalized, the creatives, and the dreamers. Perhaps that's why so many people could relate to the impact of his fall. Simply put, Johnny Depp was never Hollywood's property. He always was ours. Unfortunately, Johnny's downfall was as sudden as a tidal wave, but every legend has their dark moments. Everything fell apart when he was at the height of his career, with accolades, successful film franchises, and international celebrity. It was as if one were witnessing a man's erasure in real time amidst the accusations, legal battles, and headlines. Studios just left him hanging without even bothering to wait for proof. Former partners went silent. He went from being universally praised to being the center of controversy on social media. The Johnny Depp era appeared to be coming to an end for a little period. A man whose legacy had been founded on honesty and creativity, who had brought so much joy into people's lives, was now nothing more than a headline. However, a movement was developing quietly beneath the surface which went unnoticed by the world. An opposition. No, according to fans all across the world and in every corner of the web. Not in this way. Johnny Depp was not the villain, but the victim, as they recounted in their stories and rewatched his flicks. No, not the accused, the assaulted. If you understood Johnny's heart, you knew he wasn't battling for honor. He was fighting for his life. Afterwards, the trial took place. A cultural reckoning occurred in 2022, not merely a courtroom drama. Justice, not amusement, was the reason millions tuned in every day. Johnny exposed his innermost thoughts and feelings to the world for 6 agonizing weeks. No fury escaped him. He didn't beg for sympathy. He was honest, calm, and in agony while he spoke. Word after word reopened the old wound. Not only did he endure humiliation and assault, but he also lost love, trust, his work, and his identity. He remained standing, though, a whole. Something changed while everyone looked on. Once buried beneath news stories and rumors, the truth started to breathe anew. It wasn't simply a triumph in the courtroom when the jury found in his favor. It had a spiritual dimension. A moment when all the fans who had hung on through all the mayhem felt validated, understood, and seen. More than only Johnny's salvation, it was the victory of reality over fiction, to honor rather than desecrate. After enduring adversity, though, what is a man to do? No bash was planned by Johnny Depp. His tweet did not go viral. After that, he vanished. Not to evade, but to mend. Art, music, and painting were his solaces, so he ducked out of the limelight and got back to them. Off the road, performing live, concerts all around Europe alongside Jeff Beck. He reveled in solitude, whether it was strumming a guitar on stage, doodling in a Parisian cafe, or taking lengthy walks without a camera. He despised crowds and preferred to be alone. The healing process for some wounds takes time. The burden of proof had been lifted from Johnny. He had triumphed just by staying alive, rediscovering himself as a person rather than a brand. The man who Hollywood rejected was now doing the same. The true Johnny, thankful, modest, and laughing again, was on display for fans during those months of silence. He refused to let the pain define him, not because he forgot about it. The artist then made a modest, measured reply. Not with clamor, but with purpose. He directed Modi, a passionate and intensely emotional film about the tormented Italian painter Amedeo Modigliani, in 2024, a man whose brilliance went unrecognized, a man crushed under the crushing pressure of public opinion, love, and stardom. Does that ring a bell? Johnny wasn't merely directing a picture. He was using it as a vehicle to tell his own tale. Audiences in Europe went wild when the picture premiered. Reviewers praised its bravery, intimacy, and haunting quality. Many saw it as a message from the artist that said, "I'm still here," rather than just a film. Plus, I'm still making things. And if that weren't shocking enough, Johnny made a triumphant comeback to studio filmmaking in 2025 with the thriller, Daydrinker, produced by Lionsgate. His fans went into shock when they saw his new look, silver hair, frosty blue contacts, and a more somber, realistic performance. This was Johnny, but with a twist. A soul born again. Seeking esteem, rather, than fame. Without his devoted followers, absolutely nothing would have been achievable. Those who struggled but persevered. Who transformed suffering into meaning. Who stood up for his honor when everyone else made fun of him. Who stood in queue, mailed messages, created art, and even trended hashtags while waiting outside courtrooms. This went beyond mere fandom. This was a household. Those who identified an indestructible quality in Johnny have formed an international brotherhood and sisterhood. Not with deceit. Aside from the media, absolutely not in the Hollywood sense. Yes, he is aware of it, every time before. For that reason, he makes an effort to connect. Whether if it's just for a few seconds or for 5 hours straight. I just wanted to express my gratitude. To give back the love that rescued him. You can sense it in every interview, project, and performance today. He's doing more than that. He's striking back. Through the flames, he was accompanied by someone he knew he will always remember. So Johnny Depp, what's on the horizon? Whatever he wants is the correct response. He's available now. No cost to design. Feel free to vanish. Feel free to come back whenever it suits you. He might even go on to direct additional films. Perhaps he will provide an unexpected record. In all likelihood, he will paint in France and never return. Alternatively, he could re-enter a role that alters the course of events. The reality, though, is that we could care less if he were anything else. Simply said, we have witnessed Johnny Depp in his finest form. Not as a pirate, vampire, chocolatier, or even as a man. Only one made it. The patriarch. Even when faced with overwhelming odds, the artist maintained his composure. How about that, variant? We'll keep that one in our memories. I will be yours forever. Johnny Depp's return to the big screen is more than that. A human rebirth he is. Proof that standing up for what's right is always worthwhile. The significance of art endures. You don't have to let that suffering define you. There is hope in Johnny's story for everyone who has ever been misunderstood, pushed aside, or wrongly accused. An example of how, despite the odds, a person with a good heart and a strong spirit can triumph. For the better. More courageous. Even more astute than previously. This is about more than just Johnny's triumph. We own this. Those who support the team. The faithful. These are the people who were able to see through the deceit and hold on. Instead of merely witnessing a man's survival, we witnessed his metamorphosis. An encore would be a stretch. Truth, love, and perseverance have been the building blocks of this heritage. Johnny Depp has evolved into more than just a movie villain. Fighting, falling, and rising again are all things he represents. He recounts this tale, and that's only the start.